Okay, listen, I gotta tell you about this thing that happened to me, like right now, because it's been eating at me for a whole month and I just can't shake it. I mean, I've been turning it over in my head, trying to pick it apart like some puzzle, but nothing adds up. And if I don't spit it out, it's gonna drive me nuts. So, yeah, here goes. I'm Victor Greene, just turned 18, and I flip burgers at this crappy fast food joint in my small town. It's one of those places on the edge of the boulevard, you know, where the smell of grease clings to everything and the customers are either half-asleep truckers or pissed-off soccer moms yelling about their orders. I work these long-ass shifts, like 10 hours sometimes, dealing with the fryer spitting hot oil and the manager breathing down my neck, telling me to hustle faster. It's draining, man. Leaves me wiped out, and lately, it's been worse. I've been reckless about it too, showing up late or mouthing off to rude folks, because screw it. What's the worst that can happen? But I needed a break, something to clear my head, so I figured, why not go solo camping? Yeah, I know, sounds brave or whatever, but I'm the type who jumps into shit without overthinking, even if it's dumb. I found this secluded cabin online, rented it cheap from some clerk at a rental agency who barely looked up from his manuscript or whatever he was scribbling. It's about 2 hours out, deep in this forested valley, surrounded by dense trees that block out everything. No cell service, no neighbors, just me and the quiet. Perfect for getting away from the chaos, right? I packed my stuff in a hurry. Some food, a lantern, my old compass for hikes, and, yeah, my hiking boots, which I tossed inside the cabin right by the bed when I got there. I remember thinking, this is it, Victor. You're being all independent, reckless even, ditching town for a weekend alone in the woods like some brave traveler from those old stories. Arrived late afternoon, the sun dipping behind the trees, casting long shadows already, but I shook it off. The cabin's small log walls, one room basically, with a window facing the forest and a door that creaks like it's from another era. I set up quick, cooked some canned beans over a little stove, read a bit by the lantern light. You know, feeling that peace settle in. No distractions, no one barking orders, just the rustle of leaves outside and that fresh pine smell. I even took a short hike before dark, using my compass to not get lost in the valley. Saw a couple deer grazing in a distant pasture. Nothing weird. Crashed early, exhausted from the drive, thinking this was exactly what I needed to recharge before heading back to the grease pit. But man, if I'd known what was coming that night, I might have turned around and driven home right then. Wait. No, scratch that. I'm not the type to bail. I'd probably have stayed anyway, just to prove I could handle it. Analytical side of me always wants to figure shit out, you know? Anyway, so it's the middle of the night, pitch black, and I wake up suddenly, heart pounding like I've been running. No dream or anything I can remember, just this vague unease, like something's off. The cabin's dead quiet, no wind howling, no animals scratching around outside. Nothing. I sit up in my sleeping bag, rubbing my eyes, trying to get my bearings, and that's when I see it. On the wall opposite the window, there's this shadow, vague but definitely human-shaped, elongated and dark, like someone's silhouette stretched out. It's moving slowly, back and forth, as if whoever's casting it is pacing right outside the cabin. But here's the thing, and this is where I start analyzing it even in the moment. There's no light source to make a shadow like that. The moon's not out, no flashlight beams cutting through the trees. Hell, I don't even have my lantern on. It's just there, independent, sliding along the wooden wall like it's got a mind of its own. I freeze, staring at it, my mind racing to explain it away. Maybe it's my eyes playing tricks after waking up, or some vapor from the inlet nearby reflecting weirdly, but nah, that doesn't hold up. The forest is dense, no open water close enough, and besides, vapor doesn't cast shadows that move like a person pacing. I watch it for what feels like forever, maybe a few minutes, my breath shallow, trying not to make a sound. It's not rushing or anything, just steady, back and forth, like someone's thinking hard out there in the dark. And get this, the air in the cabin gets this sudden chill, like a draft snuck in, making the hairs on my arms stand up. I tell myself it's just the night cooling off. Valleys like this get cold fast, nothing more. But deep down, I'm doubting that. It's too timed with the shadow, too coincidental. Part of me wants to yell out, be all brave and reckless like, "Hey, who's there?" But I don't. Instead, I just sit there, analyzing every inch of it. The way it doesn't flicker like a real shadow would if there were branches moving or something. No sounds either, no footsteps, crunching leaves, no breathing. Absolute silence that makes the isolation hit harder. The cabin feels smaller, like the trees are pressing in, and I'm out here alone, 2 hours from anyone. Finally, after those agonizing minutes, the shadow starts to fade, just gradually dissolving into the wall until it's gone. Poof, like it was never there. I wait a bit longer, heart still hammering, then I muster up some guts. Yeah, that reckless streak kicking in, and grab my lantern, light it quick, and creep to the window. Nothing outside, just black wood staring back. I even open the door, step out onto the porch, shining the light around, but the ground's undisturbed, no tracks, no sign of anyone. Brave or stupid, I don't know. But I had to check, to prove to myself it was nothing. Back inside, I'm shaking it off, telling myself it was an optical illusion, maybe from tiredness, or the way the starlight filters through the trees or something. That's when I notice my hiking boot, one of them, the left one. It's not where I left it by the bed. It's over near the door, kinda kicked to the side. Like it got nudged there. I swear I placed both inside neatly when I unpacked, but now one's out of place. Wind? Maybe through a crack in the door, or some animal snuck in while I was asleep. Squirrels or whatever get bold in these woods. It's minor. Could be a coincidence. But paired with the shadow and that chill, it bugs me. I pick it up, put it back, and try to sleep. But I'm up half the night, doubting everything, analyzing if I really saw what I think I did. No more incidents that night though. No knocks. No other weirdness, just me overthinking in the dark. The rest of the trip, pretty uneventful, honestly. I hiked the next day, followed my compass through the valley, even found this old silo abandoned in a clearing like something from a forgotten farm, but nothing spooky about it. Cooked more food, read some more, but that shadow stuck in my head, I'd catch myself glancing at the wall during the day, waiting for it to reappear, but it didn't. The chill didn't come back either, and the boot stayed put. By the time I packed up and drove home, I was half convinced it was all in my mind, stress from the job leaking out, making me see things. I'm analytical like that. I break it down. No light source means no real shadow, right? Trick of the eyes. And the boot? Probably me kicking it in my sleep or something I forgot. The chill was just weather. Valleys dip in temp at night. Rational, explainable stuff. But dude, telling you this now, back in my crappy apartment, a month later, staring at these same four walls with the fast food smell still on my clothes from today's shift. It doesn't sit right. I'm back to the grind, flipping burgers, dealing with assholes, but quiet nights like this, when the town's asleep and it's just me, I think about that cabin. What if it wasn't an illusion? What if something was out there, pacing, casting that shadow without a reason? No one around for miles, no explanation that fully clicks. I've even looked up stuff online, optical phenomena, shadow people stories, but nothing matches exactly, and I end up doubting again. The trip was supposed to be my reckless escape, proving I could handle solitude, be brave on my own, but now I'm more cautious about solo stuff. Like, I'll still do it, don't get me wrong, but next time, maybe I'll bring a friend, or at least a pistol or something just in case. Wait, no, that's overkill. See? There I go analyzing again. Anyway, you ever had something like that happen? A shadow that shouldn't be there, moving on its own? Because if you have, tell me. Maybe it'll help me rationalize this mess once and for all. Or maybe not. Either way, it's off my chest now. But damn, it still lingers.